Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Walls. We're here for a brand new bumper transfer news update video. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe, and things have accelerated massively since the 0-0 draw against Fulham on Saturday. Lots of new transfer news and lots for us Wolves fans to be excited about, which makes a change, doesn't it? As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button and smash that subscribe button as well. It's great to see so many new people commenting on the videos and subscribing to the channel. Obviously, it really does mean a lot. Let's start off with the big one. Matheus Nunes. It looks like he's going to become a Wolves player. Hopefully, it'll be official before the end of the week. I'm sure Wolves are hoping to try and get this one over the line so he can be part of the match day squad against Spurs on Saturday. And I'd like to say this one came out of nowhere. It did, and it didn't really. It's been something that's been dragged across the whole summer window. A player that almost just felt like a dream, a distant dream for Wolves and Wolves fans, because he's a player of such high caliber, a player that Pep Guardiola has praised, a player that has been linked with the likes of Liverpool and so on. And Wolves were linked with him quite heavily, weren't we, at the start of the window, and nothing really had happened. It was said that he'd batted back requests from Wolves. Whether that is true, I don't know. A lot of Portuguese journalists are saying basically this time last week there was no news and it looked like, he'd rejected Wolves and nothing was going to be happening. But yesterday, Portuguese journalist Bruno Andrade had said that Wolves are going to make one big last move for Matheus Nunes to try and get this one over the line. And by yesterday evening, lots of news, lots of stories were coming out. It actually broke from CNN Portugal, which is who Bruno Andrade works for. It was said on television over in Portugal, and then very quickly backed up by Record in Portugal, Pedro Sepulveda, who's a Portuguese journalist, Fabrizio Romano, Liam Keane. So everyone jumped on it quite quickly. Now, it's said that he's going to be travelling to England as of today, which is the 16th of August. Should be in England by this evening, and hopefully we get that contract signed. So probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, we're hoping that Matheus Nunes is going to be an official Wolves player. Personal terms and fee between the clubs has been agreed. It could go up to 50 million euros, including add-ons, which is going to smash the Wolves transfer record, which at the moment is set by Fabio Silva. So yeah, huge signing. Obviously, I'll do a much more in-depth video on that, on my thoughts on the signing, a closer look at the player, and thoughts with a Portuguese or sporting fan in the next 24 hours or so as well. So obviously subscribe for that as well. But a huge signing for Wolves, guys. Absolutely massive. He's already said his goodbyes to his sporting colleagues and should be in England by the end of today. Now, another player that we have spoken about before is Gonçalo Ramos, the Benfica striker. Now, over on Sky Sports News today, Pedro Sepulveda, who's a strong Portuguese journalist, spoke about the Nunes deal, but also mentioned this one. Wolves are in search for a striker right now, and he was said on Sky Sports that Wolves were interested in Ramos. Bruno Lage had held talks with him personally. He's somebody that he'd managed and looked after quite closely at Benfica. And Wolves apparently have made an offer of a loan deal, €5 million loan fee and a €30 million obligation to buy. Now, it's not exactly said that Benfica have rejected it, but basically that hasn't progressed, so I'd imagine they have done. But Wolves obviously still have a strong interest in him. I did message Pedro, the journalist, and he sent me a voice message back just to basically explain the situation. And there is no agreement between Benfica and Wolves. There's no new bid from Wolves as of yet, but obviously Wolves still have a strong interest. Benfica have still got their Champions League qualification matches, so it's probably a strong chance that they're going to be waiting for those to be finished before they let anybody of Ramos's caliber go. So that one could be one that, I know the Matheus Nunes one feels like it's been strung out. This one may be something that strings out right up until the deadline anyway, unless Wolves get another striker in first. A couple of players that they are looking at. Che Adams is one of the ones that is apparently linked. That came from Daily Mail last week, that Wolves are one of the teams that are interested in Che Adams from Southampton. Everton, Leeds and Nottingham Forest are also said to be having an interest. All three of those teams looking to strengthen their squads, as we already know. So Che Adams is an option. Another one, of course, is Ludovic Ajorg. We've spoken about him a number of times already on the channel, whether that be on these videos or the Transfer Window podcast. But he plays for Strasbourg, the big 6'6" striker. He started on the bench for Strasbourg on Sunday. Sources in France say that Wolves apparently had bid around €12 million, which was rejected. The French club want closer to sort of 18 to 20 million euros. Alan Nixon over the weekend said Wolves had actually made a loan offer, which was laughed off by Strasbourg as well. So Wolves, I don't know what it is, whether we're sort of trying to bring a striker in on loan with the option maybe to see how one, Raul progresses this summer, or two, obviously Fabio Silva as well. If he has a great season and comes back next year, we probably don't need to trigger the purchase clause on a striker like a Jork. But let's wait and see. Still quiet on that front at the moment. Outgoing Bruno Jordão, it looks like the Wolves have been waiting for the Matheus Nunes deal to sort of sanction a couple of players to leave the club. Bruno Jordão has been sort of unlucky with injuries, hasn't he? He's been on the fringes of the first team, never really been able to have the opportunity to break into the first team setup. But he looks like he's going to be going out on loan to Portuguese club Santa Clara. They're a team in the top division in Portugal. Finished 7th last season, actually. He's going to be going there for the season. No option to buy on there. He was already in Portugal yesterday to complete the move, so expect to see that one official over the next day or so as well. And there has been some concerning news from Holland, really. Keanu Hoover went to PSV on loan under the management of Ruud van Nistelrooy. He has played a couple of games already, but he's been completely left out of their squad for their Champions League game this week against Rangers. They did have room for Keanu Hoover in the squad, but they've left him out, and he's been left to train with young PSV, which is basically their 23s, 21 setup. And apparently they're really dissatisfied with the development of Keanu Hoover. So not looking good on that front for Wolves. Obviously had big success with a number of players that have gone out on loan. We've already seen it this year with Fabio Silva already. We had plenty of players have great loan spells last summer. So hopefully this things improve for Keanu Hoover and fast. But guys, news is ever changing. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the videos. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. Talking Wolves everywhere because lots of stories, lots of news coming out all the time. If you've got any questions, do drop us a message on any of those or in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.